It's a big family birthday party. All the cousins are the same age, around middle school. There's cake everywhere, balloons, pizza crust on the couch. By 8 p.m., the party's over. The adults are done. One of the aunts says, "All right, kids, that's a party. Nobody's leaving till we all help clean up." One cousin says, "No, I'm not cleaning this. I gotta go home, man. I mean, I don't want to clean it either, but what do we do?" "I have an idea." That cousin then just drops to the ground. Full body collapse right on the floor, and everyone's screaming, "Oh my God, Corey! Corey, wake up!" The kid's not moving at all. One of the cousins is like, "Okay, bro, joke's over, stop." But Corey is just committing to this. His eyes are closed, he's limp, he's silent while people are shaking him. "Come on, Corey, get up, get up." What he didn't know was one of his uncles was in the kitchen and called 911. So now paramedics burst into the house. "Where is he? Where is he?" That's when he's like, "I'm better now." Everybody explodes. The parents are furious. The cousins are like, "Bro, that was way too far." He's grounded for months. The ambulance leaves, and now all the cousins are forced to clean up double time. They didn't just have to clean up from the party. They had to now clean all the bathrooms and rake the yard. It was insane. So his little bit to get him out of cleaning made things 10 times worse. There was this kid in middle school who was so fast at taking tests. He would always finish before everybody else. Done. Math test, first one done. History quiz, sped through it. One day it was a Scantron test, and he finishes it in less than 10 minutes. It then gets graded, and the teacher comes over. "Hey, you, nobody finishes a 60-question test in under 10 minutes. You cheated." I did not." The class is quiet. The two of them argue for a long time. The principal gets involved, and finally, "Fine, you know what? You stay after school, we're taking this test. Just you, me, and the principal in the same room." And what she does is she switches the answers on the Scantron. So it's different now. Well, after school, he sits down, he gets a different version of this test, and he goes. In 7 minutes, he's done. Grades it on the spot. Another 100%. But this isn't possible. "Mrs. Johnson, I think he's just really smart. You're good to go home, buddy." The teacher doesn't even apologize, but she never accused him of stuff ever again. And even though she saw it with her own eyes for the rest of the year, she still never fully trusted him. He's just a genius. It snowed heavily overnight. It's now early morning, and this retired guy is snow blowing his driveway. Milk, milk, milk. He clears his driveway, then he does his neighbors to the left, and then his neighbors to the right. He usually does those, just as a neighborly friendly thing, because they're also old. He parks the machine, goes inside, and puts on The Sopranos. Hey, gabagool. Tony's gabagool. The doorbell rings. He opens it, and it's a woman from like 5 doors down. She just moved in. "Hi, why haven't you done our driveway yet? I'm gonna be late for work. I saw you do these two. When's ours gonna be done?" Ma'am, this is not a service. I do a favor for these two because they're old, like me, but I still got my good knees. I'm sorry." You would think she'd be like, "Oh my gosh, how dumb of me. How dare I assume that you're gonna do our driveway?" But no. "Well, we're your neighbors too. Can you please snowblow our driveway?" He's standing there, appalled. "No." Slams the door in her face, goes back to his chair, and presses play to resume The Sopranos. "Hey, Tony Soprano. Gabagool." That lady's out of her mind. In 4th grade, these two kids had decided to ruin someone's life. They didn't mean to, though. It started as a joke. They stayed after class one day, laughing, scribbling in notebook paper. "JT, I've been in love with you forever." That's good, that's good. But they didn't sign their names on it. They signed this one girl's. She was a quiet girl, and JT was the class clown. They finished writing the note, and they folded it up. They then put it in JT's desk, and they left. Forgot about it. Until the next morning, they walk into class, and JT is standing up, reading this note. "JT, I've been in love with you forever. You make my heart go boom, boom, boom." What? He reads every word, and when he's done, everyone turns to this girl. "I didn't write that, I swear. I didn't write that." Nobody believes her. Everyone thinks it's real. She has a full-blown meltdown, and she leaves the classroom. And the two kids stare at their desks. The next few days, she is bullied relentlessly. And one of the boys that wrote the note couldn't take it. "Hey, it was me that wrote the note. Me and Kyle. We are so sorry. Why would you do that to me? My life has been horrible this week. I'm so sorry. I'll try to make it right." Those two then announced in front of that entire class that it was actually them, and that people should please be nice to this girl. But it wasn't as easy as that. People still made fun of her, and they realized that even a simple joke could follow somebody around for years. So be careful what you do, and be careful who you do it to. Be nice, everybody. This kid rode his bike to a grocery store. Yeah. He's using some of his summer job paycheck money to buy some snacks. chips, and sweets. He buys them, goes outside, and sets down the bag while he's unlocking his bike. Yeah, set you right here, unlock the bike. When he unlocks his bike and looks around, the bag is missing. Where is it? That's when he sees this kid, younger than him, stuffing the stuff in his backpack. And the kid runs home. Yo, what the heck? That's it, I'm gonna follow him. He takes his bike and follows his kid in his house. Knocks on the door. The mom answers. Yes? He stays calm. Yeah, your son took my stuff. I got some groceries and some snacks. I saw him put it in his backpack and run away. I just want it back. My kid would never steal. I saw him do it. If you don't leave my house right now, I'm calling the police because of harassment. Well, he doesn't leave. They call the police, and 5 minutes later, the cops show up. They hear both sides. They then say, "Kid, open your backpack, please." Okay. And there the stuff was. Chips, sweets, everything. Yeah. Give it back, please. Give him the stuff back. The cops leave, the mom shuts the door in this kid's face, and they go their separate ways. But that's so embarrassing for that mom. That kid didn't learn anything, because a couple days later, he went to the guy's house that he stole stuff from, and he threw eggs at it. What a little jerk. The senior prank was to fork the lawn, which means sticking forks all over the school's lawn. Well, you see, at this one particular school, they used real silverware, and the seniors have been planning it for a long time. All right, guys, we have 3 months. Whenever you get the chance, steal a fork. You got it, Johnny. Brilliant plan, old chap. Every lunch period, they would be taking these forks secretly, and they were doing it slowly so it seemed like a natural disappearance of silverware. But by the end of spring, the seniors had hundreds of forks. And no other class knew. Then the night before their last day of school, they came to campus, quiet. And they took all of these forks, and they shoved them into the lawn, evenly spread apart. And there were so many forks. By the time they were done, the grass looked like it had grown metal hair. It's beautiful. Rotate that wig off. And the next day, administration went crazy. And the thing was, there was only one custodian left for that school year. This older guy. My name's Mr. Johnny. Hey, Mr. Johnny, can you please pull these forks out of the lawn? I don't want anybody tripping. Oh, okay. And then there he was, down on his hands and knees, pulling these forks out of the grass. Hundreds of them. Bending, sweating, he's working alone. A teacher finally came in to try to help him. Hey, Mr. Johnny, you can... That's when he saw his face. Mr. Johnny was crying. Thank you. That prank then went down in school history, but nobody ever talked about the guy that had to clean it all up. Hey, respect Mr. Johnny. He had a crush on this girl for months. They were in the same last period class. Hey, what's up, Carla? Hey, Bryce. Well, 3 days before Valentine's Day, he decides he's done being scared. So instead of just asking her out like a normal person, he buys one of those school singing Valentines. $10, one singer, he comes to your class and sings to your crush. All set? Thank you. You got it. Now it's the night before Valentine's Day. His phone rings. Hello? Dude, she has a frickin' boyfriend. Oh, man. So now he panics. That next morning, he tries to cancel. But it's too late. No refunds, and everyone's already been sent out. Well, it's last period. He's sitting there praying that they ran out of time and that somehow his order would be skipped. 10 minutes left in class. Please, please, please. And here this guy comes. We have a singing Valentine here for Lady Erickson. Oh, that's my last name. That's me. And he begins. Wild thing, you make his heart sing. He's in love with you. Or something like that. I don't know the song, but it goes on for a good 45 seconds. Yay! Now, she obviously assumes this is from her boyfriend, but then he hands her the card. And here is the card from your Valentine. She opens it up. Bryce? I didn't know that you... I have a boyfriend, you frickin' creep. Wait till I tell him about this. You're done for. After that class, he rushes out of the door into the buses, and he goes home. And he said that was the most embarrassing day of his entire life. Yeah. This senior class pulled a crazy prank. One night before school, they sent a few people out to pet stores to buy buckets and buckets of crickets. Oh, we got this. This is gonna be the best prank ever. Then, right before lunch, they poured buckets of crickets into any trash can they could find. Well, that day during lunch, a fight broke out. People were pushing and shoving each other. Hey, wait a minute. A crowd begins to form. And amidst all this chaos, these garbage cans got knocked over. And I guess the crickets that had been sitting in there saw this as an opportunity to go crazy. So now there's this wave, this swarm of crickets just
going all over the place, and people are freaking out. It turns into chaos. Nobody knows why there's an army of crickets, and somebody pulls a fire alarm. Within minutes, the school loses complete control. And at the end of the day, pest control was there trying to fix the situation, trying to get rid of all these crickets, and I guess they did their best. Weeks go by, then months, and crickets are still showing up. In classrooms, in lockers. Years later, every so often, you could hear them at night in the ceiling, all because of one senior prank. And honestly, that's legendary.
He pre-ordered a cake for his mom's birthday. Okay, I'll pick it up soon. It was a custom order. He walks into the bakery, gives the pickup name, Carlos. Okay, I have your cake right here. Then a woman steps closer to him. Hi, that's a really nice cake. It is, right? Can I have it? No, sorry, it's a custom-made cake. But custom-made cakes take so long. I want yours. The guy just turns his back to walk away, but this woman turns him around. Okay. No, don't walk away from me. Excuse me? Give me that cake right now. Absolutely not. It's my mom's birthday cake. Well, me and my kid want it more than your mom. This guy sees the kid buyer and looks at him. Leave me honest. The kid doesn't even care. The worker comes over. Hey, what's going on in here? I want that cake. The worker says no, so this woman tackles the guy. Hey man, run! Take your cake and get out of here! The guy then escapes the shop with the cake, while this woman and the worker are fighting on the floor. The cops were called, and that woman was arrested. But seriously, who crashes out that hard over a cake? Doesn't make any sense to me. She's nuts. Every kid at this one school got a Chromebook. It was for homework, and they were allowed to take it home. Well, this one kid's mom wanted to punish her kids one day, so she took away the Chromebook so they wouldn't have access to the internet. Mom, I need the Chromebook. I don't care. I'm locking it up until your behavior improves. Okay, well, now, naturally, this kid's grades begin to sink because he doesn't have the Chromebook or the internet to do his homework every night. So the mom gets mad again. Your grades are absolutely horrible. Mom, you took the computer. I don't want to hear it. So the mom installs locks on this kid's bedroom door. And it wasn't like a cheap lock. It was a fingerprint lock. So if he wanted to sleep, he had to ask for permission. The mom also changed the house locks as well to only open for her fingerprint. So someday he would get home from school and he would have to wait outside. This is horrible. I hate my life. He explained to his teachers what was going on at home, and they tried calling the mom and talking some sense into her, but the mom always said, I know better than the school, I know better than you teachers, I know better than anyone, okay? This went on from when he was 14 to 18 years old. At 18, he moved out of the house immediately. And now the mom, of course, is like, hi, it's your mom. Why don't you come see me anymore? You never visit. He never visits. I wonder why. This mom spent 5 years telling everybody in town that her son was a monster. He cut me off. He hasn't talked to me in years. She would go on Facebook and post these long, crying rants about how family is everything and how she didn't understand why her own flesh and blood would just stop speaking to her. I'm a heartbroken saint of a mother. She was really making herself the victim. I just don't get it. I gave him life, and now he won't even answer a text. I've done nothing but love him. Well, her son eventually caught wind of all of this, and he decided he was done being the villain in this story. He finally posted a comment on one of his mom's crazy posts. He didn't write much. It was a simple question. Hey mom, glad you're doing well. Quick question, where's my Honda? People commented. The truth finally came out. A few years back, her son let her borrow his car because her transmission was out and she needed to get around for a few days. But the day he dropped it off, all right mom, keys are on the ignition. I'm gonna get an Uber back home. You're all set. Thank you, son. Well, that day she didn't drive it to work. She drove it straight to a car dealership. And it wasn't a formal car dealership. It was some random guy. And she sold it to him. Yeah, I'll take it. Here you go. She then used that money to put towards a new car for herself. Why on earth would you do this? I needed something reliable. You're young. You can walk. I can't believe you. But she got mad at him. She said that, oh, quit complaining. You should be happy for me. But obviously, he wasn't. And that's why he never talked to her. Good reason. They had just moved into a house in the woods. All right, family, here we are. Go check the place out. We're going to be so happy here. So they only been there for a few weeks. Every once in a while, some wild turkeys would show up in the yard. 5, maybe 6 of them, and they would just wander around. Nobody thought anything of it. Hey, look, kids, the turkeys are back. Yay! Well, Thanksgiving comes around, and although there are turkeys by the house, this guy doesn't hunt one. He goes to the store and buys one. He cooks the turkey, the table's all set, and now the dining room table is right in front of this giant window. Well, he puts the cooked turkey down, he grabs his carving knife, and he starts to carve this turkey. Okay. Well, as he's deep into the carving, he looks up and out the window. I kid you not, there were 15, maybe 20 wild turkeys lined up, staring directly inside this guy's window as he's carving the turkey he just cooked. Honey, I'm hungry. Is food almost ready?
Sweetie, look. They're watching us.
What? He lowers the knife, takes the turkey, brings it into another room where there are no windows, and he finishes carving it there. And then once this guy moved to a different room, one by one, those turkeys went back into the woods. That is wild. There was this kid named Silas who hadn't spoken since the 6th grade. Silas went 3 years without making a sound, until he ended up in Mr. Garrett's algebra class. I'm Mr. Garrett. Now, Mr. Garrett was a notorious power tripper. He loved picking on kids for no reason. Well, that particular day, he was really laying into this kid named Leo. Well, are you stupid, Leo? I asked you for the answer 10 minutes ago. Stand up. Sit down. Now, Leo was a freshman, and he had a stutter. And on that day, he was clearly on the verge of a full-blown panic attack. The teacher was being ruthless. And the class was silent as well. They were like, this is super uncomfortable. Teacher's still laying into him. How did you even get through middle school? You are the dumbest student I've had in years. Well, that's when the class heard a scrape, like someone's chair being pushed out. It's Silas. And he's standing up now. Silas, sit back down. This does not involve you. Silas didn't sit down. He walked right to the front of the room. He stood between the teacher and the kid, and he spoke for the first time in 3 years. He's not the one who's stupid, Mr. Garrett. A good teacher doesn't need to bully a 15-year-old to feel powerful. So there's something weird about you. Mr. Garrett was so stunned because this kid hadn't spoken all year that he just sat down, stunned in his seat. Silas never spoke at school again for the rest of the year. And he didn't have to, because everyone already knew. Sleep over at his friend's house, they're chilling in his friend's bedroom. Come here. Oh, man, you win again. Well, this kid turns his head for a second, and he sees his friend's grandma standing in the doorway just staring at him. At first, he's like, okay, this guy's grandma's pretty weird, but I'm not going to say anything. A little while later, this kid goes down to the kitchen to grab a drink. He gets in, opens the fridge, he feels that weird feeling that someone's watching him, then he closes the fridge, and the grandma's right there. It's like she appeared out of nowhere. He heads back upstairs to hang out with his friend, and they close the door this time. His friend says, hey, yo, my dad's gonna run me to the store really quick to buy something for school tomorrow. You good here? Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm tired. Probably just gonna, take a nap here. Close my eyes. All right, I'll be back in a second. Kid closes his eyes, and he's just dozing off for a little bit. So that's when he feels the mattress shift. He opens his eyes. Oh! The grandma's sitting on the edge of the bed with her fingers crossed, looking at him politely. Hello, I'm Grandma. I am Grandma. Hi, Grandma. Hi. I'm gonna get a cookie. You want one? Sure. Okay. Shh. Don't tell the family. And she goes away. She never comes back with the cookie, but his friend returns. What's up, bro? Yo, bro, what's up with your grandma, man? She's like stalking me. Oh, she just does that, man. She likes to know where everybody is at all times. I think she was watching me sleep. Oh, well, you're lucky. How am I lucky? After that night, he never sleeps over there ever again. This girl's in 8th grade. She's tiny, pretty short. Like she barely comes up to anybody's shoulders. Well, her dad is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu teacher, and he taught her jiu-jitsu when she was very young. I want you to be able to defend yourself, sweetie. Only if you need to. And she was really good at it. She had these skills, but she never had to use it until one day. This senior dude won't leave her alone. Hey, what's up? So what are you doing? Hey, what's happening? Get away from me. He's getting in her face. The teachers see this, but they don't do anything. He then grabs her arm really hard. Hey, get back here. And that's when it ends. One clean move. And this kid's on the floor, knocked out. The hallway is dead silent now. Everyone's watching. Well, here's the wild part. That kid goes home that night, and this kid's parents lose it. They demand a meeting. They say that their son was attacked. They want the girl expelled. And the school sides with them until her dad stands up. My daughter isn't going anywhere. I was walking around earlier. I see cameras in every single hallway. Why don't we run it back to see what really happened? And if you still think my daughter should be expelled, I'm gonna sue this entire school and him for assault. And this dad was intense.
They believed him. Then it switched. This girl was not getting expelled. Instead, the guy does. Good on her for sticking up for herself, and good on the dad for being awesome.
It started over a jelly donut. No, that's my donut. I bought it. It was the last one. Yeah, but I was technically in line before you. Yeah, but then you went to the bathroom because you had to take a dump. Steven, you told her? It's the truth. They argue and argue. They start shoving. Then the donut drops on the floor and somebody steps on it. It's no good. It turned into this big thing. Apparently, the school had began picking sides. Nobody even knows what it's about. So now it's two large groups of people. At the front are the two girls, and they just start brawling. And the kids who aren't involved are just watching, like, dude, this is messed up, we gotta leave. Okay, let's go. Well, as those two try to leave the cafeteria, two plainclothes cops come in. You're not going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere. But by this point, it was out of control. The large fighting crowd makes its way outside, and now they're fighting in front of the school. Hundreds of kids shouting, fighting, people recording it. The security guard gets knocked over.
Ouch! Ouch!
Somebody pulls the frickin' fire alarm, and that's when it happens. Like 10 cop cars just storm in. They get out of their car. They're wearing helmets and shields, and that's when all the students realized, oh, we should probably stop. But everyone that was involved in the fighting got into huge trouble. Let's just say for the next week, attendance was very low. This second grader decides, I want to do something nice for my teacher. So one morning before school, she's outside and she picks a few apple blossoms. Enough to hold in one hand, and she was going to give it to her teacher. She's going to love this. She carries them all the way to school. And when it's time, she walks up to her teacher's desk. I got these for you. Now, you would think the teacher would be like, oh my goodness, thank you. But where'd you get these? From a tree? Well, that's when the teacher snaps. You pulled these from somebody's tree in their yard. You stole them. No, I didn't. No, I don't want to hear a single word from you. I'm tearing these flowers up. I'm throwing them away. You need to learn about rules, young lady. This is disgraceful. Sit down. Absolutely heartbreaking. This girl just wanted to do something nice and the teacher flipped out. Later that day during recess, her older sibling finds her. She was crying alone. Oh my God, what happened? She explains the situation. Well, he was ticked off. He storms inside and he yells at that teacher. What'd you say to my sister? She was trying to do something nice for you today. You know where she got those flowers? From our backyard. Yeah, the flowers were their family's. She didn't steal them from anybody. The older brother then got a detention for yelling at a teacher, but he doesn't care because the way that teacher treated his little sister was unacceptable. That's a good brother. That's a bad teacher. There was a school in Florida that tried to monetize the bathroom. It's so messed up. They gave every student 3 restroom credits a month. And if you ran out, each additional restroom credit was $5 each. This is insane. The principal called it time management training, which didn't make any sense. It's more like a human rights violation. Well, that's when a student named Marcus, what's up, realized that the school just created the most valuable currency on campus. Okay, I got 2 credits left. I'll trade them for your pre-calc answers and your lunch. Okay, cool, yeah. Deal. Marcus became this bladder broker of sorts. Hey bro, you never pee, right? No, just once before school and once at night. I'll buy your credits off you. He would either trade these credits or sell them to students who were having an emergency for a massive markup. Now the crazy part is, he began trading, buying, and selling these credits very obviously in front of teachers in the hallway because his plan was to get caught. So when the principal did catch on, Marcus, I know what you're doing. Oh, you do you? You cannot be trading, buying, or selling these bathroom credits. Well, what are you gonna do about it, huh? Oh, well, you're gonna get in big trouble. No, you're not, because listen up. You got a few options here. You can punish me, but then I'll go to the school board. Tell them that you're charging students $5 to use the bathroom. Or you can let me continue and do nothing about it. Or your last and honestly best option, get rid of the credit system. It's a human rights violation, you frickin' idiot. Out of my office now. By the next morning, the bathroom credit system was gone. And honestly, it was all thanks to Marcus. This kid had a fish allergy, and he always told his mom, Mom, I can't eat fish, I'm allergic. And he's not like die allergic, but if he has fish, he'll get sick. Headaches, vomiting. But his mom refuses to believe him. No, you're not. Eat the fish. She would force him to eat the fish, saying that he's not allergic, and then when he does eat it and gets sick, she gets annoyed. Oh my God, you're dramatic. Clean up after yourself. Well, one night, the mom's hosting a big dinner party. This kid is 9 years old. Everybody's eating. His mom hands him a fish fillet in front of all the guests. Here you go, sweetie. Eat this. Let me know how it is. Mom, I told you I can't eat fish. That's not true. That's not true, everybody. Eat the fish. That's when the kid realized, okay, I'm gonna eat the fish. He eats the fish. Everybody's watching. 10 minutes later, he walks back into the kitchen. Oh, did you like the fish? You want more, I bet, huh? No, Mom, pukes all over the mom and the table. The guests are shocked. Oh my god! Clean up an aisle fish! Milk! Now you can see it in the mom's face. She wants to explode. Kids like, do it, Mom. Everyone will see who you really are. But the mom can't. Not in front of all her guests. So she flips. Oh, my poor baby. I think you are allergic to fish. Let me go put you to bed. She then takes him upstairs and tucks him in and joins the party again. And from that day on, she never made him eat fish ever again. Hey, kid's a genius. This kid didn't talk until he was 5. And when he finally did start talking, he barely said anything. His vocabulary was only like 20 words, and he only talked when he was spoken to. And everyone already thought he was the weird kid. Well, one day, this kid is sitting outside of his house when his 10-year-old neighbor walks by. And the 10-year-old neighbor is a legit genius. He actually ends up graduating high school at 12 years old. But he walks up to this 5-year-old who barely talks, and he says to him, the answer to every question is observing. First of all, I have no idea what the heck that means, but the kid listened. Oh. He takes it very seriously and very literally. From that day on, every single question he gets asked gets the same answer. Okay, you. What is 2 times 2? Observing. What do you want for dinner, son? Observing. Okay, and how are you feeling today? Observing. At this point, people are freaking out. People made meetings, there was counselors and therapists involved. For almost an entire year, the only thing that this kid would say is observing. Eventually, after a few years of therapy, he began talking like a normal person. But hey, that's kind of hilarious. His name was Frog Boy, and he was the weird kid at this one school. Froggy, Puggy Wuggy. Every single day before class, he would be in the woods behind the school, catching frogs, lizards, and raising tadpoles in a Home Depot bucket. Grow, little tadpoles. Grow into frogs. And every day he would walk into class smelling like pond water. Yo, Frog Boy smells extra froggy today. But in class, he would have so much pent-up energy. He couldn't sit still, and every single teacher knew this. Kevin, why don't you go take a lap around the school, okay? Okay. They would often let him leave school and run around the building and come back to tire himself out. In different classes, other kids would be doing math, and they would look out the window to see Frog Boy running by. 2 + 2 is 6. He would also just do crazy stuff. Like one week, he super glued all the woodshop tools to the wall. It's a masterpiece. My tools! Another week, he went into the kitchen and spread flour everywhere. It looks like it snowed in here. My kitchen! And it was like that for a long time. Well, fast forward years later. One of his old classmates is at home scrolling through his phone when he stumbles on a viral motocross clip. Yo, that's sick. It's a clip of a guy on a dirt bike going off this huge ramp and doing a backflip. That's when the old classmate realizes, wait, that's frickin' Frog Boy. Frog Boy was now a professional motocross rider, and he was very rich. I'm just happy he used his energy for something awesome like that. Hey, go Frog Boy. She told him to wash the car, and she gave him a bucket and a sponge. You should be all set. All right, I'm on it, Mom. So he goes outside with the bucket and the sponge. He sets the bucket right next to the car. I'm put you right here. Then he goes to the side of the house and grabs the hose. Okay, got the hose. And he begins dragging the hose over to the bucket by the car. All right. But the hose is not long enough. It doesn't reach. Ah, great. So he turns on the water. Fill this bucket up, but how am I going to do it? Just going to launch it from here. And he begins spraying the hose and trying to arch it into this water bucket. Come on. But the bucket keeps tipping over. Come on. Not again. He adjusts his stance. He changes the angle of the hose. He's trying to find the best way to fill this bucket. But this kid didn't realize that he could just take the bucket and bring it to the hose and then bring the bucket back to the car. Like, at no point does that enter his brain. His mom's watching him through the window. I raised an idiot. I mean, yeah, kinda.
আসমানে চাঁদ লয়া এরকম বাসর ঘরে আহে তখন রাজা বাচ্চাগুলা হান
তুমি এই পোশাক কখনই চেঞ্জ করে আইবা নালে কইলাম আমি তোমার আমার লগে থাকতে দিমু না আইসা আলগা খানদানি রেওয়াজ দেখে
তোমার কত বড় সাহস তুমি আমার মাথায় বাড়ি দিবা এই আমি কি করছি বাজান কি এইটা কাম করছে নি আপনার মতো হীরার টুকরা একটা পোলারে লাথি দিয়ে বাইর করে দিছে
দিমু একটা ঠুয়া আমি পারুম না এই বেটা এই আমগো খানদানে পূর্বপুরুষেরা
তো কি টিপে করলা?
লাগলে হেরাও টিপা দিমু। তুমি বরং আমার হাতটা ব্যথা করতেছে, হাতটা টিপা দাও।
আরে এখানে হান্দাবার লাগছস কে? একটু ওদিকে নে না। তোমার বিছানা আমি ভিজায়া দিছি গা।
এটা তুমি কি করছো?
কি করছি, ঘুমাইবা না?
তোমার গো পূর্বপুরুষের মাথায় কি সমস্যা ছিল আব্বা?
নাটকের পর কয় কি শুনছো ওই বেটা
আব্বা জান, আপনার পোলার এখন জিগান তো রুটি গরম না ঠান্ডা?
বাপ রে বাপ শুনছো নি একেবারে ডর দেয় তো বলে খুশি খুশি করে কাটতো হয়েছে আপনার ডর আপনার পকেটে থুয়া দেন
খানদানটা আমার কত উচ্চা দেখতে হইব না?
দেখতেছি তো, উঁচা ভি আর লম্বা ভি। তোমার বিছানা লাগা।
খারাপ না হয় এটা মনে রেখা মন দিয়ে রান্না করবো
আমার লগে মস্কারি চলতেছে এখানে।
একদম চুপ, একটা চাকা দিয়ে
বৌমা কি কইতেছো?
কুচি কুচি করে না কাইটা ফেলাইছি আব্বা। আমার তো মনে করে যখন ডর দেখাইতে দেখাইতে আমি দেখেন আপনি কি করি। ঘরে আইলাম না, এখন দেন না আসমানে ঠাড়া লাহান একেবারে কাঁপায়া দিমু।
আচ্ছা আপনার
তুমি রাগ করো না।
রাগ তো তুমি করবা, খাড়া খাড়া চায়া দেও।
আমি তো ভাবছি ডাকাত পড়ছে নি।
এই শাহজাহানগর বাড়িতে ডাকাত আইবো এমন কোন মায়ালাল পয়দা হইছে নি? দাদায় পড়ছে, তার দাদায় পড়ছে, এবার আমার পালা, আমি পড়ছি।
আরে রাখো তোমার খানদানি রেওয়াজ।
যা করছি ভালো করছি, তোমরা তোমাকে রীতি রেওয়াজ করছো, ভালো করছো, আমি পারুম না। তুমি আমার স্ত্রী, আমি তোমার স্বামী, তুমি আমার পার্টি পাইতে দিবা।
আমাকে খানদানে মাইয়ারা স্বামীর পাটি পেনা।
বুঝ করেন দেখি, রুচি আছে আপনার।
আরে রুচি থাকবো না, আমরা খানদান। খবরদার একদম উল্টা পাল্টা কথা কইবা না, কইয়া দিচ্ছি।
আমি কইলাম তোমার মাথা একের বাড়ি মাইরা ফাড়ায় ফেলামু।
মন্টু হ্যাঁ মন্টু, হ্যাঁ মন্টু, আমি তো অনাথ হয়ে গেছি গে একেবারে, মনে করে আমার বাপে আমারে, এটা কেমন বাট পারি? হ্যাঁ, তোমার আব্বা না খুব কান্দানি, আমারে কইছিল কাশি খাওয়া।
সকাল সকাল তুমি আয়া পড়ছো, চিল্লা কেমতে?
কি হয়েছে? হ্যাঁ, আরো থেকে অনেক পর দেখে দেখতেছি ফোনের পিছে লাইগা রইছো।
বাজান তোরা আর একটা বুদ্ধি দিতেছি।
কি হয়েছে আব্বা, আবার কি?
তুমি যদি একটা মাস পরে আইতা তাহলে দেখতে আমার আব্বাই আনাম খাসিটা পাকে তোমার সামনে রেখা দিত।
খানদান নাকি? খানদান গো চিনা লাগে নাকি? চোখ বন্ধ করে হারবার পাচ্ছি, আয়া পড়ছি।
দরকার আছে, দরকার স্যার, আমি কি ফোনে কথা কই নাকি? এই এটা খায় কি করতেছো? যাও না, নিচে যাও। কি হয়েছে বাজার?
কি হয়েছে? এই সব আমি পারুম না, আমার দরকার হলে ঘর। আচ্ছা, যা হবার হয়েছে বুঝছো, সারাদিন যে ধকলটা গেছে গা, নিচে ঘুমা।
আজ নামনের বাসুর ভাই আপনি
আপনার ঘরে
তুমি তো আমার পিলার চমকাই দিচ্ছ বাবা।
কি যে কন্যা আব্বা, মাত্র তো আসমানের চাঁদ লাগা।
কিন্তু তুমি তো বিয়ার পর দিনই আইয়া হাজির, তো রসুনটা একটু চেঞ্জ হয়েছে আর কি।